Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
We're back. It's Thirsty Thursday, and I'm delighted that you're here, Nancy, inviting you into the show to say hello, and same with Martha. Yes, Jenny's here. Yes, Amber's here, and yes, Lindsay's here. Aren't you glad? I am. I'm certainly glad. We have a lot going on. As you know, we are in the midst of our hydration challenge, and then we'll start the collagen challenge next week. If you want to get on that, savingdinner.com/collagen, that's what there's, your sign up. That's where you're going to get the guide and everything. It's free. You can watch the webinar. Catherine's here, Mary Ann, Debbie, Carla, Lily, and Jocelyn. Hello. That sounded like Mrs. Doubtfire, didn't it? Hello, with the whipped cream on your face. Yes. This whole week we've been talking about getting unstuck. I mean, has this been helpful for you? I hope so. It's been helpful for me. Can I just tell you that? It really has. So today we're going to go into the weeds a little bit about doubt. I think doubt keeps us stuck. What do you think? Anyone believe that doubt can keep us stuck in the place where we're not getting exactly what we want? We're going to talk about that, and we're going to get into a little bit of details on how to get rid of it, how to start, shall we say, embracing confidence instead of doubt. Because it doesn't matter how you feel, it matters what you do. Gotcha on that one. Hello, Diane, Susan, and Mary Ann. Doris is here too. Debbie's is here as well. So is Lucy and Denise. I see you coming in. Yes. I'm glad it's been helpful. Yeah, I want to make sure, because this is the way that we go. Hello, Noreen and Lizzie and Joanne and Lisa. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're back. In a world of doing, it's important to just breathe, to just be. And we need to see that. That's part of our whole balance thing, isn't it? Balance. Trisha and Kathy know about balance, don't they? I know you do too. And sometimes, though, the doubt comes a creeping in, and it wants to put up residence and stay with us. That's what we're going to vanquish today, okay? So take notes. Hello, Mary. I'm glad you're here. Lily's here with some pinkies up. Come on. Lily's already got her pinkies up. Corliss just walked in. Hello, Corliss. So I'm excited about all of that. Speaking of exciting, all of our tools are available in the shop. If you go to savingdinner.com/tools, that's where we're going to find everything. 3 things that I think are absolute needle movers for setting up the life that you want to live. One is our Take Back Your Life journal. The other is our mindful mug. And the third thing is our quote deck, which is over on the other side. Listen, do you notice that there's no more scratchy marks behind there? Huh? I fixed that today. Hi, Tanya. Did you also notice, by the way, that there's Carol? Hello, I'm glad you're here. Did you also notice that let me just say, there's peacefulness here. I'm bringing in the peace. You feel the peace? I had someone come over and help me all morning, and I've been working my tush off so that I can get this office to be something that I want. So stage 1 is done. We undid the closet and cleaned it up and did a bunch of stuff. I need another pair of eyeballs. Do you ever need another pair of eyeballs on your life? I do, all the time. So that's what we did today. And you know what? When I'm talking to you about success tools, a success tool that you can pull out of your hat sometimes is getting someone else to look at something for you. Because sometimes you can't see, the clutter through the clutter, right? Or the forest through the trees. But our success tools help us with our everyday, day in, day out, helps us to set up a successful environment, helps us to set up success for how we eat, and helps us to set up success to motivate us and to keep us going. Writing our goals down every day. You'll find everything at savingdinner.com/tools. I love that second set of eyeballs. Look at the eyeballs looking at you. Hi, Suzanne. I'm glad you're here. Feeling stressed and fearful. Carol, we're here for you, honey. There's my girl, Tanya and Carol. We got two Carols here. We got a Carol and a Carol. Carol, say hi to Carol. I'm going to help you, honey. So you hold on, Carol. I'm looking at you. I see you. She's over there on YouTube. Yes, breathe. And also, yes, hear what I have to say here, okay? What I have to say here today, I believe that doubt is one of those creepy things that hangs out in the back of our lives, robbing us of that vibrancy that we all want. I'm calling it out today. I'm done with doubt. I'm done doubting myself as well. How much time have you spent in the doubt place of just feeling like I just can't get ahead of it? No, you can't do that. Have you ever done that? Oh, I know you have. So anyway, we're gonna get into that. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Angie. I'm glad you're here. Margot's here as well. And Flynn, we haven't seen you in a while. So glad you're here. We all do it, don't we? We all do it. I'm going to take you down and tell you what to do when doubt comes knocking, because doubt will keep us stuck. Amen? Doubt will hold us down, pin us down like we're in a wrestling move. Anybody watch the Olympics with the wrestling and all those crazy moves that they did? And this is a pin, and so is that, and so is this. Hi, Jama. I'm glad you're here. We watched that. That's what doubt does. Doubt can figure out, you might be standing over here, but I'm gonna take you down anyway. That's what it does. It's a sneaky wrestling move. So if you want to dump all of that, let's do it. savingdinner.com/bloom is where you're going to find everything about full bloom. Full bloom. Who wants to be in full bloom? When we're in full bloom, we're at our most beautiful selves. We are, because a rose, a rosebud is lovely. But a rose fully bloomed, that's a rose that's in all its glory. And that's exactly how we need to be as women. When you go check out our full bloom event, it is coming up September 11th, Saturday, September 11th. I want you to check it all out, okay? The virtual event is going to be just as good. Check it out, savingdinner.com/bloom. We've added a to-pay. Yes, the price has gone up for our virtual events. Our costs have gone up for virtual events, but you are going to leave with so much value, and you're going to understand a little bit better about your purpose. You might not have the whole thing figured out, but I'm going to guarantee you'll have something figured out. Noreen's in the house. Did I see Noreen earlier? Did I? I don't know. I just see as soon as you all start popping in, I want to say hello. So if I missed you, understand this. It wasn't on purpose. It was just simply because it went too fast. And I see you though, and I appreciate you. So let's talk about all of this. I didn't tell you about our supplement of the week. It's CoQ10. I love this stuff. This is really good for cardiac health, y'all, and especially for women. The #1 disease that kills us, it's not breast cancer, it's heart disease. This helps. Now, obviously, if you're taking blood thinners or something like that, talk to your doctor about using CoQ10. But this is one of the core supplements that I consider absolutely necessary and basic for good health. savingdinner.com/show. That's where we house all of those incredible supplements. Hello, hello, hello. Look at all of you coming in. It's so fun. Nancy, I am so ready for full bloom too. I've just started. Really, I've assembled all my notes. You should see, I've got my entire dining room table. On one side, I've got a secret project. I'm not going to tell you what it is. All done. You'll find out at full bloom. And on the other side, I've got all of my full bloom notes. So that's how I roll. I have to process and put everything out there like that. I also want to tell you, I've shared with you before. Okay, there you go. There's your Q&A. Q&A's on Friday. Do you have a question for me? Send it to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday goes right there in the subject line, and that will get your question answered. Yeah? Sounds good? All right. I don't know what else I had to share with you, but it's not important. So let's get into the weeds, shall we, about doubt, because doubt is going to come a-knocking. If you are a human being, there's going to come a time in your life, and maybe it's a lot, maybe it's even habitual, where doubt just really plays its cards in your life and it keeps you stuck. It keeps you from going forward. It keeps you from reaching for the life that you want to live. It's just something that we have to look at it, you know? When we understand that, we have to take a look at it. And I think this is one of those things too, where remember when we talked about Bruce Lipton and the biology of belief? He's a doctor and he just talks about the thing that just whacked me upside the head with that was this whole idea that 95% of the time we're living our lives in our subconscious instead of being present in our conscience. We know about that because have you ever been in a car driving and then all of a sudden you just realize, gosh, I don't even remember driving here. I just got here, you know, because you were so much in the back of your head. Well, that's a thing. And that is how we live with regret because we lose our way. We lose the opportunity to experience and enjoy our lives. Well, I think in the back of our subconscious is also where doubt hangs out. Doubt hangs out, and it's not this loud emoting thing that goes, oh my gosh, you know, whatever. It just taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, you can't do that. You're not good enough for that one. Or, you really think so? I don't know. I don't think you should make a decision about that. You know what I'm talking about? It just is an unwelcome visitor that hangs out in the back of our heads. Can't get rid of it. It's just there, letting us know every step of the way might be a problem. Maybe you can't do that. And making us feel like I'm afraid to even make a move. I'm afraid to even do anything. You ever felt that way? I know you have. This is something that I was looking at one of my journals. Listen, this clean out that I did in my office, can I just tell you? And when I went through, hi, Mary. And when I went through all of these boxes, do you know, I found an old journal and I was looking at it and I saw some of these doubts, some things that I thought that I could not do that I have now accomplished. What does that tell you? That tells you that doubt is like, it's almost like being in a haunted house, right? It's there and it feels kind of creepy. It feels kind of uncomfortable, but you can't quite put your finger on what's going on. You know, what is this? So how do we bolster belief in ourselves then and vanquish the doubt? Because doubt is the thing that paralyzes us, gets in the way, stops the momentum of what we're trying to accomplish, and it just puts us dead right in our tracks. Frozen, says Carol. That's you, frozen? We're going to unfreeze you today, Carol. Are you ready for that? Let's unfreeze. And if we're going to be honest with this, we doubt. Am I good enough? Am I a good enough spouse? Am I a good enough parent, a contributor to society? Am I good enough for fill in the blank? We all have that. And then we compound that, by the way, with this whole notion of starting to compare ourselves with other people. Oh boy, does that just add another layer? And that, oh, well, she can do it, but I can't do it. You know, she's got this. Well, she's got everything together. Look at her. Everything is so easy for her. We make assumptions, we compare ourselves, and we know that comparison is the thief of joy, but we go there anyway because our doubt is saying, tap, tap, tap on the shoulder. You're not good enough. Look at her. Look what she's doing. She's got all of it together. She's this, she's that, blah, blah. Am I doing it correctly, says Lucy. Exactly. Exactly. But you know, I'm going to tell you right now, you know what fear is? You know what doubt is? It's really fear dressed up in a valid emotion, which is uncertainty. And uncertainty is something that our amygdala holds onto. And our amygdala, you know what our amygdala says? Our amygdala says, oh my gosh, fear, 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 scary, 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 can't do it, can't do it. That's what it is. And it's just too risky. Uncertainty is also associated with our brain with risk. Now, the good part about this is, and I'm just going to sidebar this here for you, is that, hi, Juanita, on the side there is this whole idea that we can put the amygdala in its place. You know how we put the amygdala in its place? Simply by doing it anyway. And it feels so uncomfortable. But we have to make friends with discomfort if we're going to grow beyond our comfort zone, don't we? Yeah, we talked about that last week. We do have to do that because our amygdala would like to keep us safe and small and never doing anything. And if we listened and let the amygdala run our lives, we're not going to get the life that we want to lead. We're not going to. So here's the thing that happens, which is a really cool thing in your brain, is that when you do it anyway, even though the doubt is there, even though you're feeling like I just can't, even though you're feeling frozen, even if you're wondering if this is good enough, am I doing it right? Do I have this? When you do that, you get a reward, believe it or not, from the amygdala who says, just kidding, good for you. Have some serotonin, right? Have some dopamine. Feel good about this. That's the reward that we get. And you know, there's a drag time, isn't there, between actually making that crossover, right? Actually making that crossover. Because what I have seen is that we spend a lot of time with doubt, entertaining doubt, giving, hey, doubt, would you like to sit down and have a cup of tea with me? You know, we do this. We allow doubt to run the show. And when we do that, we're then feeding that fear of uncertainty and our amygdala is going bonkers. But again, we lose it, we let it go, we give it up, and things begin to change because now fear's getting smaller and our feel-good hormones are charging and feeling better. And that, what does that give you? That gives you confidence. It makes you feel like, oh, maybe I can do this after all, and maybe I can get unstuck. I love that. So uncertainty is a feeling of being uncertain, and there's danger involved in uncertainty. And we talked about that with the amygdala. And I'm going to tell you not to ignore it when it comes along, but simply to acknowledge it. That doesn't mean that you have to wallow in it, right? That's an important part. So when we understand that fear can fuel doubt to be too cautious and too careful and to not trust the process or the pain or anything, the actions that we take can start to quell our doubt, because this is what happens. Uncertainty is doubt all dressed up, is what it is. And that doubt and the two of them play back and forth, and the two of them hold us hostage and keep us small and keep us from doing the very things that we want to do. That's what the biggest thing is. That's the thing that I have noticed myself in my own life, that when I allow doubt to play its hand, I'm being held hostage. No, Lily, no, you're not alone. We're all in this together. We all have our own little pockets of doubt with different things. Can I do this? Am I good enough? Is it going to work? And you might think that I come on here every day and thinking everything's going to be great, but every single day, I'm going to tell you every single day, you want to hear my doubt? Will anybody show up? We have these things. It's part of our human experience. And all I'm saying is that we also have the ability to quell the doubt and understand, when we understand how our brains operate, to make it so that we know what to do next, simply to get our brain on board. Isn't that so great, though, to know this stuff? Lizzie says that journaling helps me tackle the doubt in my life. And she's absolutely right. It is one of our tools that we can use. Our whole success tool package. I mean, I would tell you, look at this. Come on, right? I have grit, not quit. You know what that means? That your grit's going to get you past your doubt. You know, this is something that we all have. This is something that we all feel. There's not a soul on this planet. Anybody who says, oh, I used to have doubt, but now I don't, they're lying to you. Of course you have doubt. It's part of who we are. We doubt what we're able to do, especially if we're growing. And, you know, don't you want to grow? Don't you want to become the very best version of yourself that you can? Of course you do. You know, of course you do. And here's something that you can write down and you can take to the bank. Doubt is only overwhelming when you decide it is. Do you hear me? When you give voice to doubt, and when you say to doubt, you know, this is overwhelming, then doubt says, absolutely 100%, let's make it overwhelming now. We have to be careful of our word choice. We do. We've talked about this before. The words that we use are the commands that we give our brain. And our brain is going to look for evidence to support that. So if we can say, you know what? I have doubts. I'm a human. I have doubts. But you know how I deal with it? I'm like Lizzie. I write them down in my journal. Or you know what? If it really comes and starts to really overwhelm me and I start to think, oh my gosh, can I do this? I go to my community and I say, I'm just so full of doubt right now. Help me process this. You know why we do that? Because now we are taking this concentrated emotion and distilling it. And there's a bunch of people coming to our rescue to say, no, you know what? Joanne, you're great. Tanya, you've got this. Lily, I see this. Lucy, you're amazing. I get that. Yeah, I got doubt too. We all have doubt. We all have doubt. Doesn't that make, this is part of our sisterhood. It's that doubt thing. But guess what? We don't have to allow doubt to run the show. We don't. Listen to this. Van Gogh said this. If a voice inside of you says, you cannot paint, you paint because the voice will be silenced. Isn't that brilliant? We go against the thing. We push back. We say no more. We say, this is the thing that I need to do because it's difficult right now. Because doubt is wanting to take it away from me. Doubt is a taker. It's a taker. It takes up your time. It takes up your energy. It takes up your brain space. It takes up portions of your life that you could otherwise be living in another way. Juanita says she loves that quote. We should put that one in the quote deck, right? If a voice inside of you says you cannot paint, then paint. The voice will be silenced. This is exactly what we just talked about. And not only will the voice be silenced, but you will be rewarded with a little hit of dopamine, making you feel good about that decision, right? Oh, Lucy. Lucy says she has doubt about her artwork. Are you kidding? I've got her artwork sitting here in my office. I love it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's thoughtful. It's colorful. It lights me up. Yeah. I've shared it with you before, but the full bloom flower and the little picture of Lincoln on the dock, I'm telling you, it's the loveliest thing. And you can see this is Lucy's brain, her creativity just coming out. We all have some kind of an expression of our own art, whatever it is. And a lot of times that art is shrouded with doubt. Jenny does beautiful handwork, crochets and fine stitching, all this stuff. I look at it and go, whoa, okay, I could never do that. Yes, you are so talented, Lucy. And it's beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's beautiful to see people's talents come to light. Amber has some beautiful talent. Look at Amber's talent. If you've got to take back your life journal, you're experiencing Amber's talent, And our Lindsay, well, I'll just tell you, she's really starting to write. And, isn't it so fun to see and capture people with their talents and their capabilities and things that they love to do? It's lovely. It's lovely. And we all doubt ourselves and we doubt our talents and we put things in containers and we say, I'm meant wheel, blah, blah, blah. But they're there. They're there for you to enjoy as much as they are for others to enjoy. I have no doubt, for example, that when Lucy was creating these beautiful little treasures that I have right here in my office that just delight me, that she was having an amazing time putting them together, that it was making her heart sing. We need more of that in our lives because that is the thing that quells the doubt, right? It's the thing that quells the doubt. And you know what? Your artistry can be, look at my daughter. She cooks and she does the recipes that she does. She's on her art, her photography, food photography is on a cover of a book by Random House. That's my daughter. That's art right there. Yes, she is. Caroline is incredibly talented. Everybody that I know, we all have that. It's just, are you going to nurture it? Or are you going to nurture the doubt? The doubt's going to keep you stuck. The doubt's going to keep you away from the things that you love if we let it, right? Well, doubt will also take us out of purpose and power and action. Write that down. Doubt is there to take you out of purpose and power and action. And doubt chips away at you. Again, if you allow it to. Your self-worth is your self-worth, and you can hold on to that, and it can be as solid as marble. And you can say to doubt, I'm sorry, but no, not my self-worth. You don't chip away at that. Let doubt sit in its container and don't let it out. You know, it's kind of like Pandora's box. And you know what doubt does? It holds us back. It holds us back from reaching out to somebody who might need us because we think, oh, they're not going to need me. We don't buy the food because we don't think that we can follow through on 7 days, you know, doing the sprint. We don't think that we have the ability to do, or we're not a good enough cook or whatever. We don't speak up because we think that no one's going to listen to me. This is what doubt does. And does that keep you stuck? I mean, talk about stuck. How about this one? Anybody ever say this? Who am I to fill in the blank? Have you ever done that? I'll tell you, I have. We can feel inadequate. We can feel uncomfortable, and we also need to embrace doubt. You know why we need to embrace doubt? We need to embrace it and understand that it is merely a fleeting moment. It is not a directive. It's not a directive. It's not the thing that's going to change our lives, right? It's not unless we give it that permission. Everything is permission oriented. Did you know that? Your emotions, the way you feel, all of that, it's all permission oriented. You have to give it permission. And if we allow things to just run amok inside of our heads with our thoughts, our feelings, and everything like that, you know, I'm sorry, but we're going to lose the battle and lose the war, because then doubt is going to have its way, and doubt's going to be running your show instead of you. And I don't want that for you. And that's why I keep going back to that Robin Sharma quote that I love so much. What you think about expands. What you dwell upon becomes your destiny. Do you want doubt to be your destiny? Do you want doubt to do that? I know you don't. So it's another one of those complex human emotions, doubt is, that we all have. And it's molded by life's experiences. Maybe you had an experience that said, see, this is why you should be doubtful. You can't do that. But it was one experience, or maybe 2, even 10. But it doesn't need to be that way if you get into your conscious part of your life and say, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to allow for this. Watch how things shift. Things shift when you do. Things shift when your energies shift and your focus shifts. It makes all the difference of the world. Juanita says, we also have to remember we might not be everyone's cup of tea, but that's okay. There are many types of music. Not everyone likes it, but it's all important to someone. Absolutely. And you know what drives me nuts? Drives me nuts is when everybody has it's their way or the highway. And this is the way I see things. Therefore, this is, the gospel truth. I'm sorry, but no. Nobody has a corner on the truth, really. Other than God. But we all see through a glass darkly. Ever read that Bible verse? We all do. We're doing the best with what we have and with what we can. But how arrogant to assume that you hold the key to all truth. I believe that's what God's about. And we do the best with what we can. And our doubt about ourselves, and I know that was kind of off the wall there, right? But it's the truth. Our doubt about ourselves is just, it's the thing that bleeds into the vibrancy of our lives. And that's the thing that I want to get you out of. So I've got 5 things for you, 5 things that we can do. And I think will help to move us out of the stuck place of doubt. Number 1 is understand what doubt is not. It's part of everyone's human experience. It's an emotion. It is not a directive. I just said that a minute ago. But this is true. We do not have to take our marching orders from doubt. Doubt doesn't run our show unless we give it express permission to do so. You got that? We all doubt ourselves. Welcome to the human race. Welcome. But we don't have to take orders from doubt. That's number one. Number two, doubt your doubt. Ah, do you like that? Fear likes to blow things up out of proportion. Have you ever noticed that? That's what doubt does. You can't do this. You're not capable of doing this. You're not who do you think you are? You know, all of that. What is this? All of a sudden, you've gone from, can I do this, to explosion of all the reasons why you can't. And all the reasons why you can't is because doubt is telling you how small you are, how little you are, how less valuable you are. Doubt that doubt. Doubt the way it's showing up and put it in its place. Make it tiny. Make it tiny. That's a doubt. This is the thing that comes out. This is just something that I need to deal with, and I need to put it into its container. I find that so helpful. I mean, you've heard me talk about the experience file and taking out the emotion of an experience and taking the lesson out. That's what we put in the experience file and toss the rest, right? Well, I think so too with doubt and other emotions that come and just in waves and seemingly here to derail us. If we can just look at doubt and say, you know what? I'm going to put that doubt in a cup. I'm going to contain that, and I'm going to get on with these things right now, because that doubt is unimportant. What's important is this goal that I have. What's important is this thing that I'm trying to do. What's important is this relationship, this job, this resume that I'm putting together to get this amazing job. I can do this. I'm just going to put doubt over here for right now. Contain it, right? Okay. Oh, and the other thing too, and I have in my notes here is, Henny Penny. Remember Henny Penny? She blew things up so greatly that when an acorn hit her on the head, she was like, the sky is falling and my life is falling apart. We don't have to be like Henny Penny. We can say, okay, take a look. What is this? Examine on the ground. There's an acorn, and an acorn hit me in the head. Don't make assumptions. Just contain this doubt and put it in its place. That's what we need to do. Number 3, call it out. Call it out. What doubts are you nurturing? Do you have some nurturers that you have in there, little doubts that you let go and let just have free reign in your life? We don't have to do that. Take it and evaluate it, analyze it, unplug it, put some things in the experience file that you need to, dump some other stuff. But remember, you can contain it, you can experience file it, you can do whatever you want with it, but don't let it run amok. That's the thing. And when you call it out, you're saying, I'm looking at you, doubt. I got your number. I know what you're all about. Well, when we do that, we also have now named it, and we don't have to claim it. That's a big thing. Number 4, your goal is bigger than your doubt if you decide it is. Ooh, baby. Again, contain it. I get the doubt. I do. I had a goal when I was in 8th grade to write a New York Times best-selling book. I got ridiculed for that. Ridiculed. And then in 2007, it happened. Huh? How about that? So your goal is bigger than your doubt. And I doubted myself for a lot of years. I was told when I was in the middle of writing things, even after I'd written my first published book, I should be an accountant because that's a steady job. And started doubting myself. But then I knew, thank God, intuitively, that what I wanted to do was the thing that I should be doing. What I wanted to do. And at that time, I wanted to help women. My biggest thing, help women. It's changed over the years, over the last 20 years, hasn't it? But it's the same idea. It's the same burning passion that I've had. The same hot desire that I've had is to make sure that every woman that comes into my orbit feels seen and validated and loved and cared about. Every single one of them. This is this, and it gets to show up the way it needs to, because my goal is bigger than my doubt. And the last thing is stay in communication with this whole thing about doubt, with your community. You can fuel the doubt, or you can fuel your communication to get rid of it. How about that? I find that to be so helpful, and it helps us to see things that we need to see completely clearly, because we get lost otherwise. And we get lost, and doubt just takes us out to sea. And it's not Gilligan's Island, it's like lost at sea. It's a terrible, tragic thing. And we don't even realize it. And we don't even feel it. And we don't even know that doubt is the one that's calling the shots. And it keeps us lost. It keeps us stuck. And it keeps us from doing the amazing things that we're here on purpose and for purpose to do. Don't you ever forget that you are the apple of God's eye. Don't you ever forget that. Anointed by him, put here on purpose and for purpose. That's the thing that we need to be looking at. That's the vanquisher of all doubt when we understand that. I don't know about you, but that makes me feel a whole heck of a lot better. Thanks for joining me today. I so appreciate it. And I hope to see you tomorrow for Friday, because it's Q&A. Can you believe how quickly this week went? And we'll get your questions answered, and then we'll be back again on Saturday for Soulful Saturday, where we'll wrap up this week. We're all talking all about being unstuck. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thanks so much again for showing up. And by the way, if you find these things helpful, you can share them. I don't mind. I appreciate it, as a matter of fact. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.